You mentioned before, this is another thing, and I'm just curious because I feel like you can make a lot of money from this. You said all disease can be cured through sound. Could you maybe use some of your finances to find ways to make some of these cures? You said
I'm not a scientist.
So, but you believe all cure,
yes.
all disease, and you also said that the mainstream media wouldn't want this out. Although I will mention one of the biggest podcasts of all time, it was a serial, not like serial, but it was one of the early podcasts, was literally on this idea. It was the idea that there was a species somewhere else spending, it was very similar to the movie Contact, where they were using sound and it was killing humans, and then they used sound in order to heal them. So this idea has been out there. Well, my point is, what you said was anybody who comes out with that idea publicly is going to get, black helicopters and vans or whatever. Do you have any proof that all disease can be cured through sound?
Do I have any proof? No, I do not. I'm not a scientist,
by the way.
I'm not a scientist. That is a theory I have.
Got it. It's a theory. Got it. Okay.
Just like the scientists have theorisms.
Beautiful.
That is my theorism. I also believe, and I want people to understand this. I also believe that running water is something that can help calm people and soothe people down.
There's science behind that. There is science behind it.
So the fact of the matter is, whenever I'm in a hotel room, I always leave the running water. I always leave it on because I personally believe, forget the science, I personally believe that just that sound basically has different vibrational energy that goes around it that's healing to some people. I believe that being by the ocean heals people physically, psychologically, things of that nature. That comes for me because of my understanding of numerology and astrology. You might find a way that says, okay, science backs this too. Cool. But there's certain things right now the science won't back that it will in 200, 100 years.
But see, what you just did is you just removed the faith out of what you were talking about.
I have no faith.
I understand
only
that,
have
but
facts.
what I'm saying is this, is you have a faith in the fact that there's some sort of healing energies in the sound of running water, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if science goes and says, yes, it will indeed.
I'm happy the science caught up.
Okay,
I'm happy the science caught up.
Hold tight. Let me finish this one because this is real good. Okay, so if I can prove to you that in our evolutionary past, our ancestral past, that the sound of rain or the sound of the ocean or running water meant we're close to water, and so therefore we have some sort of better personal
chance of survival,
better chance of survival because now, hey, the rains are coming on the
and it's also one less area we can be attacked from. That's exactly right.
So now what I've done with common sense is I have ruined the faith that there's some sort of cosmic energy
in your mind,
in the idea.
In your mind,
no, in the actual proof of the science that's showing behind the scenes here that this is remember what I told you about. If any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. So if you think the magic is that the sound of running water is going to make your energies align and your chakras go whatever the fuck they are, and then I can go and I can say, hey, look, here's the science behind it.
You don't even believe in that stuff.
Here's the science behind this. I know you don't. I'm not saying
you don't.
I'm not saying I do either. But
I believe in chakras.
But the science behind that is now ruining the faith that you had in the fact that this was energy or chakras or
you mean just because
just
because the science backs what I believe now it ruins what I believe in the first place?
No,
that makes no sense.
Not at all.
But your reasoning for it does ruin.
But it pulls it out of the metaphysical and puts it into
objective.
If I believe what I believe from one standpoint and you believe what you believe from another different standpoint, that doesn't basically say invalidate my argument.
Yes, it does.
I will be happy. I will be happy that you found a different correction. Like for instance, you could take this street to get to this location. I'll take this street. Me driving from the left and you driving from the right does not disprove that I'm coming from this direction.
No, right.
It does not.
The results are the same, but I'll give you an example. Like so, for instance, there were certain constellations that would rise in the sky before the Nile would flood in Egypt, and so they started to correlate those constellations with the flooding of the Nile. What they did incorrectly, though, is they believed that the Nile flooded because of the constellations as opposed to the position of the Earth and the Sun. And so they came to the reasoning, the correct result, but they came to it incorrectly because they switched cause and effect. That's where the difference is. But I want to get to this question I want to ask you real quick. The other one is, you believe Nikola Tesla and or Donald Trump are time travelers? They could be time travelers.
It is possible.
It is possible.
It is possible.
Time traveling from the back.
I believe Elon Musk is a time traveler.
How are you time traveling backwards in time? I'm just curious from scientific standpoint.
I don't believe. First of all, I'm not a scientist.
Okay.
This is not numerology and astrology. These are my theories. Okay. So I don't want to be challenged. Oh, you're a fraud. This is what I believe. Okay. Can't bring up statistics. This and this and this. I can say that when it comes down to Mr. Tesla, he does certain things that people didn't do. And like, for instance, he would wouldn't sleep. He would sleep for 20 minutes and then wake up. He would just sleep in for months. Now, I believe that's what people are going to do in the future. So for me, that's one thing I can look at and be like, okay, that doesn't make sense, but he's doing something that might be something that they might do in the future. I personally believe Keanu Reeves is a time traveler.
Okay, got it.
Okay, when you look at
Isaac Newton would then be a time traveler.
From the future,
you said that, not
from
me.
the past.
You said that, not me. When I look at Keanu Reeves, when he takes pictures with females, he always puts his palms out like this.
Yeah.
This is something I believe they're going to do in the future when the feminists take over.
He did that after the Me Too movement. That's
okay,
what
I understand.
It's called
I believe.
By the way, I do the same thing because
it's called hover hands.
I believe this is
hover hands.
I believe this is something that more and more people are going to do. But here's the point: time travelers can't have kids because they don't belong in this timeline. If you don't belong in this timeline, you can't have kids. Tesla did not have kids. What's his name? Keanu Reeves can't have kids. In the movie The Time Traveler's Wife, it said specifically in that movie, time travelers cannot have kids. So again, I can't tell you for 100%. I can put things here and here. I personally believe that Tesla is a time traveler.
Okay.